Hello and welcome everyone to the Top 40 Under 40 episode 6. Today we have a JC member with us who is in JCI since 9 years and who has served from director, vice president, secretary, advisor, and currently he is the treasurer for the chapter. A first generation agri-preneur and a fourth generation farmer, a petrol head who loves to travel. Welcome, Mohammed Ikram.
Hi, Saket. Thank you so much for the introduction, Saket. Hi.
I request Shruti to take over.
Hi, Ikram.
Hi, Shruti.
To start with, Ikram, why don't you take us through your career, your journey? How did you start off?
Okay, so as you heard in the introduction that I am a first generation agripreneur and a fourth generation farmer. So basically, I come from a background of farming, but I did not start my career in farming. I was always around agricultural field and agricultural equipments since I was a kid, but I never wanted to get into this line of agriculture. My parents, my father, my great grandfather all were into this line, but somehow I did not want to get into this line. So I started off my career as I joined an event management company in Calcutta, and I had barely completed my first year in graduation. So since then, I have been working with that company. But as they say, one day or the other, you have to come back home. So I gave up that work where I was working as an event manager for quite a few years. So close to 4 years, I was working as an event manager. I gave up that job in 2019 and came back to the family business. So now I'm full time into this business of agriculture, looking after the estate that is there in Bihar. And yeah, that is how it all started.
Wow. Amazing start off and the roots calling you back, Ikram, right? So since now that you've started, what are some of the key challenges, some of the roadblocks that you've come across, your struggles?
First of all, let me just tell you the work that I am doing. We have another 59 to 60% of the whole of this population of India that is into this field, that is agriculture. And the major struggle that we have in this line of work is that it is an unorganized sector. There is the whole sector is so unorganized and everyone has their own ways of working. This is not a corporate culture. So especially for me, coming in from an event management background, a corporate background, it really made me feel that things are not happening on time, deadlines are not being met, and the frustration level would be skyrocketing. And the whole frustration would come out on the employees. That is one of the biggest struggle, I would say. Secondly, traditional techniques and traditional mindset. I think the techniques can be changed, but the mindsets take a bit long. It has to come over generations, I would say. The mindset changes over generations. So introducing anything new and bringing in anything from outside is the eyeball, I would say, in this work that I'm doing. So that is one of the second things that I saw as a very big problem. The third problem that I saw was it was like you all must have seen Jugadu Kamlesh on Shark Tank. He got fame on that. So you have to be very innovative. A farmer does not have too much of support from others. So if there's a problem, the farmer has to find a solution to it. Just like Jugadu Kamlesh did for 8 years, 9 years, continuously he worked on one project just to make sure that his problem was solved. It is either you become an innovator yourself, or you look at foreign companies like Netafim and all those huge companies who have the technology and they have expensive technologies. So that is one of the other struggles that I saw. You have to be very innovative with your work in that sense. Yeah.
Okay. Right. I absolutely agree with you. And I believe to some extent you have overcome your challenges and struggles. So what do you think is your success mantra?
Basically, success mantra, there are quite a few actually. So let me just throw some light on a few, I would say. Starting off with being very determined as to what you want, being there, standing in the rain, standing in the sun, on the field no matter what, because you want to make it happen and you want to make it a success. So that never dying attitude that you call it, you have to have that to make sure that you succeed. Second thing is the biggest bet that I'm doing in agriculture is that bringing in new technologies and implementing them to the T. For example, we are putting in drip lines for growing crops. Then we are installing sprinkler systems in the orchards to control the microclimate of each tree and all these things. And the final thing that I feel would be the game changer would be, let me ask you one question, Shruti. From the fruiting stage to the flower, from the flowering stage to the fruiting stage, how much fruit loss is there? Can you tell me?
I wouldn't know, honestly.
So it is said that when a tree, for example, a lychee tree, when it flowers around 80%. So there's 80% capacity of fruit bearing in that. But by the time that flowers pollinate and they become ready to become fruits, that percentage drops to 15%. So
15%.
there's a loss. 1.5, yes,
Wow.
1.5. So the capacity is there, but the fruit is not there at the end of the day. So that is one thing that I am working on, especially to make sure that the fruit bearing capacity of each tree should go up. So the loss there, that is of 60%, approx 60%, if we cut down on that, we can surely make a huge margin in that line. So that those are a few of the success mantras. Yeah.
Amazing. I love your vision there, Ikram. And I also like how, some of your success mantras are directly driven for what our Indian farmers actually stand for. So hands, like bow down to you there. Since we know agriculture is more traditional in nature in India at least, and you've spoken a bit about technology. So where do you see this industry going in the next 5 years, maybe?
I think the answer lies in the budget that was presented this year
Hmm?
by a finance minister. So yeah, she made it very clear that she'll be having the drones in the skies over the farms. We'll be having pesticides being sprayed via drones and all those things. And yes, I would say that somehow the culture in India, the agricultural sector, the culture and overall culture in the agricultural sector in India is changing. People are having there is a shift coming into the mindset. So yeah, people are coming into the field. They are going into more innovative techniques, be it watering the plants via drip irrigation or through sprinkler systems, be it using more chemical-free fertilizers and pesticides, be it more organic seeds that they are using. So yeah, so quite a few changes will be coming in the future regarding this.
I'm glad to hear that actually. And my last question to you, Ikram. Unfortunately, I think we don't see a lot of our youth picking agriculture as their first choice, right? Or very few of them actually. So, what would be your two-piece advice to our upcoming generations, our youth who are trying to make a mark for themselves in this industry?
To be very blunt on this topic, Shruti, I would say that out of 10 farmer kids, 8 farmer kids are leaving the job every day. And barely 2 or maybe 1 farmer kid is persisting. That is also because he's not able to get a job. Maybe that is the only reason he's doing it. He's not doing it out of his will, I would say. So the thing is, there are quite a few things that should be taken into consideration over here. Firstly, the thing is, the market is not like I said in the just like I started off that the whole sector is very unorganized. So if the sector becomes a bit organized, I think more and more people will be continuing in this, and more individuals will be coming into this field. Be it the youth, and it is the youth that will take this sector forward. That's for sure. Any sector has to be supported by youth, and yeah. So I think becoming more organized and yeah, not giving up. That is what will. Uh, that is the only advice that I would like to give to the youth.
Right, absolutely. And thank you so much, Ikram, for joining us today, for giving us your precious time.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much, Shruti. Thank you so much, Saket, for this interview.
Guys, that was Mohammed Ikram, our agri-preneur. In the true sense, he is the Matir Manush, right? But with a technological heart, somebody who's got his eyes set on the future and who's using all the right tools and techniques to change this industry completely, to change this face of this industry completely. And let's see where it's headed in the next 5 years, 10 years. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. Next week, we will be back with the one more entrepreneur and their success stories. So stay tuned with us. Thank you.